Tips for becoming an esthetician. What's your goal? Do you want to be an esthetician? Like, you need to have a goal of why you want to be an esthetician. Like, what's your ultimate goal? Like, when I wanted to go to aesthetic school, I knew I wanted to start a skincare line. Like, I have a girlfriend who works in a spa. She always wanted to work in like a high-end spa. You kind of have to have your goal for as far as, you know, why you want to go to school. Because what happens, this is not just with esthetician school. This is when you get a bachelor's degree, a medical degree. It doesn't matter what kind of degree you get. You graduate and then you are not just gonna like know all of a sudden, maybe. You kind of have to have a vision in advance. So once you do that, though, I think that if you are in the business of aesthetics, you need to have social media. Like, and you can't start that sooner enough. I'm not saying if you're 100% opposed to social media that you can't find another way, but it gives you an edge. And anytime I go to an esthetician or I look at someone who, like, I want to go get an injectable or I want to go get a facial, I look to see if they have Instagram. I want to see before and afters. I want to see social proof, so that you can't start early enough building that. So when you're in school, start your social media right away, wherever you are, with whatever you can. What I would do back in the day is I would just talk about skincare products. I would just set a budget and say I'll spend $20 or $30 a month on skincare. And I forced myself to do that and just talk about skincare online. Whatever you're drawn to, just do that. I want to start my own line of work under a dermatologist. That is an amazing goal. That is an amazing, amazing goal. If you know a dermatologist and they're willing to train you, you can get in with the dermatologist right away. But most of the time what you have to do is, once you graduate from esthi school, you have to go work in a bullshit spa for a little while and get a little bit of training underneath you, and then go into a medical like situation. Unless you find someone who's willing to train you, or you know someone. I want to be a dermatologist, but no, I know it's like a serious commitment. But I don't know how old you are, but you know, the time passes anyways. You just have to go with the calling of your heart, right? You just have to go with the calling of your heart. Okay, I'm thinking of changing career path in the esthetician field. Any advice? I'm nervous. So whatever you do, commit to it 100%. If you're changing career paths in the aesthetics field, burn all your ships. Say, okay, I know this is going to everything takes a long time. So I know this is going to take a couple of years. I'm going to go to school for 6 months. What I like about mineral is you can put it right underneath the eye. I'm going to go to school for 6 months. I have to study. I have to pass the boards. And then I'm going to work in a shitty job. I'm not trying to be depressing. I'm just telling you the reality of changing career paths into a field of aesthetics, which is fine. Unless you have connections, you're probably not going to get like the most ideal job out of school. You're going to work in like a spa. You don't make much money. But if you can mentally prepare yourself for that, then you will be fine. The only thing you don't want to do is change careers into a career that you're like, oh, I have to deal with shit here too. Oh, you know what I'm saying? Just don't be too idealistic with it. But if you know for a fact, number one, I know this is the sheer. This is what I'm talking about, the sheerness of it. Like, I think it has to absorb. Any type of career advice that I could give someone is commit to it with the expectation that you're not going to have any results for a little while. If you can commit to that, then you will be successful in anything that you do. And this is what happens too, because I have my eyebrows microbladed. When you use mineral sunscreen on these eyebrows, they look gray. But if you know that you're committed to the aesthetics field and you're like, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if I have to go to school for 6 months, study for the boards, work in a job paying me $8 an hour, or maybe all commission or whatever. Like, I don't care. This is just what I want to do. Then you're golden, because it will get easier. It will get easier, especially after year 2 of anything you do. After the second year of working at whatever you're doing, it's about to get easier because now you have momentum. And if you do decide to take that leap, start on social media as early as you can. Social media is so amazing if you're in the aesthetics field especially, and it takes a while to build up your, how comfortable you are on social media, your vibe on social media, like using the actual technology, accumulating people that like want to talk to you and trust you. So start as early as you can. Document your way through school. This is what we're learning in school. This is, what we're doing today in school. These are the products we're using. These are the treatments we're doing. Like, this is what, like, my book says. Like, start documenting your journey and let people get to know you. And, by the time you graduate, you get a job, document that whole experience. By the time within a couple years, you'll have somewhat of a following. You'll be able to get to a better position. You'll be making more money, and you'll have, like, documentation of your journey, and people are gonna be like, oh, I want to come see her, because when you work in aesthetics, it's all about your clientele. That's why you have to build up your clientele for a little while. And so once you have the social media, people will be like, oh, I see her, I like her, I want to come work with her, and you can start bringing in clients really easily. Okay, does that make sense? Tips for starting your own line. How did you find a manufacturer? Well, I tried so many manufacturers, actually. I even hired a manufacturer that I had to almost take to court once because, like, it was just such a bad situation. So actually, I was trying out different labs and manufacturers for maybe 2 years straight. And I personally would always go with the manufacturer who responds the quickest to you. That would be my initial recommendation. There's so many after that, but if the quality's there, obviously the quality has to be there, but always go with the manufacturer that responds the quickest to you and your needs, because you want someone who responds quickly and meets your needs.